Hello, friends. Welcome and namaste. Today, we're gonna just be doing some pretty simple movements, just getting the body moving and looking at mobility. So, I am sitting cross legged. I am also sitting up on something, right? Feel free to support knees. And if you want to have the first couple of beats kneeling, please feel free. But we're going to be doing some circling of the body and things like that. So, um, somewhere where that's going to be manageable. Let's say it that way. And find yourself in your upright posture, noticing maybe you've been doing this all day so far, but maybe this is the first time you've brought your awareness into your body or sat in this posture with awareness, right? So as you tune in, notice where your pelvis is at. Are you in the middle of the buttocks bones, leaning back or forward? Are you heavier on the right or the left? Try to find the very middle of the buttocks bones really gently. And then notice how that affects the juncture where the sacrum and the L5 is called, your lowest lumbar, come together. And from there on up. Let's start with really gentle head movements. You can have your eyes open or closed for any of this. You're going to turn your head to the right, back to center, and to the left. Not that quick necessarily, just setting the pattern into place. And then, gosh, I think it was 3 weeks ago now, we had like almost 2 weeks of where is your head in space. So you might just bring some of that knowledge in that you learned about your body. Notice if your chin wants to lead or does it want to stick out far away from the body. Can you gently move that hyoid bone back? Keep the height of the neck, even though you're twisting the neck. So it's kind of twofold, elongation and a twist. And then when you feel like you're complete with that, you'll come back to center, and the next move will be right ear to right shoulder, back up to center, and left ear to left shoulder. And again, I'm simply setting a pattern in place. Work with your breath. Notice how the body moves in the neck, moves in these two directions. And again, just kind of notice, does your head want to turn a little as you do this? Can you do it keeping your face forward? Do your shoulders want to move? And it's not wrong if they do. We're just trying to isolate in the neck a little more. Come back to center. And then the last of the six motions, you'll let your chin move down. Because say crown of the head moves a little forward, and then crown of the head moves up and back. And again, consider adding breath to that. And noticing how it feels to move in these two directions. The easiest, or the one we're in the most, I shouldn't say the easiest, the one we are in the most, for most bodies anyway, is flexion, right? That chin moving down towards the chest. And then come back to center. You can open the eyes or not. You're going to bring your arms out, let your right ear move to your right shoulder, and then lean to the right, right fingertips coming down and coming back up. So start with the neck, left ear to left shoulder, and then let the spine just ripple over to the left. You catch yourself with your hand, and you can push yourself back up with the hand. I was going to say the hand muscle. I'm looking how far forward I am. Not looking, I'm noticing how far forward I am. My chin is kind of jutting out. So again, I'm going to bring some of that knowledge from where is the head in space. The 2 weeks we did that. Now let your head turn down if that feels okay with your neck. And if you keep that top shoulder, what I'm going to say high, don't let it roll down with you. Chances are great we'll get into the neck and stretch through there a little bit more. Maybe do that one more time on both sides. Notice if you want to be in a hurry this morning. Do you want to move at all? Maybe you're having just a hard time moving anything anywhere. Come on back to center. None of it is right or wrong. It's just where you're at, right? You're going to bring your fingertips to your ears or even behind your head. And this time, let the same motion happen and think of the elbow gently lifting up to the sky. Right? And hopefully, we start to get into those intercostals and the side ribs or something like that. And then the next time that you're over to the right, stay there, bring the right hand down. And now you're going to go ahead and you're going to push your head back into that hand and let that elbow kind of fan open, for lack of a better description, and see if that doesn't come into your shoulder girdle complex. I mean, I feel it in my side body, my low back, but also hopefully moving into some of the muscles and tissues of the shoulder. Come on back up. You can bring that right hand up as you lean over, bring that left hand down. And again, this time you're going to move your head back into your hand. Your elbow kind of fans, not the greatest word, but the elbow lifts a little up and back, right? And you're checking into anything. How does that change the experience for you, right? And coming back up to center, and breathe. Cat cow. Moving forward on your buttocks bones, moving into that cow type position, right? And as I move under the back of my buttocks bones and my spine moves back, I'm in cat or something like that. Come on back to center. Let's put our other shin in front. We're going to move into a twist. Bring your arms out into saguaro cactus. Hands could be on hips if you have shoulder issues. And we're going to turn, right? And don't worry about turning the head quite yet. We'll get into that. Right now, let it stem more from your sideways to turning you in and out. Right? And then the next time we twist over to the right, let's bring that left hand outside the right leg, right hand behind you. You'll notice I'm bringing in a block in since I'm on height. Inhale, get nice and tall. And then start down low for this twist. You're going to start at your L5, L4, L3. Go ahead and twist one little vertebrae at a time. And the very last thing to turn in is your head. With ease, don't force it into anything. Think of if I had a string on the top of your head, the crown of your head, like a marionette string, and gently lengthened you up. Keep your shoulders where they are. Turn your head and look over the left shoulder. And then you're going to release the body forward. You can move the block over if you're working with one. Bring the arms up. Use the side waist first. Right hand outer left leg, left hand behind you on something. Get tall. And again, bring your mind's eye to your L5 and start to twist one little vertebrae at a time. And the very last thing to move into the twist is the head. Is your chin leading? Is your chin jutting out into turtleneck, right? Can you move that? Slide that hyoid bone back or that chin back a little bit. Breathe. Now, keeping your shoulders and the lower body where it is, turn your head only, and look over that right shoulder. Release the body forward. Okay, now those Sufi circles. So hands can be on thighs or knees or something like that, and just start to circle the body. Depending on where I am in my day and what's been happening, I like to start with smaller circles and then get a little bit bigger. Uh, but you probably know that about me. I call myself a progressive mover. I don't ever try to get into the deepest thing right off the bat. Go ahead and go the other direction. I try to ease into things. My body tends to open more if I work that way than trying to force in. Okie dokie artichokes. And then from there, you're going to go ahead and you're going to stand. So, however you want to get to a standing position, go ahead and make your way up. And you're just going to go ahead and have your feet about hip distance, maybe a little wider. You can kind of determine that for yourself. And you're going to let your hips just kind of move back and forth. So we've done a decent amount in the spine, gotten the shoulders a bit, right, that neck a bit. So now let's start to go into that lower body a little bit. Go ahead and draw circles with your tailbone, or however you want to think of this movement for yourself. And the other direction. And draw a figure 8 or something like that, right? Where the right hip goes forward, back, or around and back, and then the left hip does the same on the other side. Switch and go the other direction. And then if you can do it with your joints without hurting yourself, when you go back, really let that hip kind of move back. So I'm bending my knees a little bit because I tend to hyperextend, right? And you can just kind of move the hips a little in whatever direction you want. But as you move back, kind of reach that hip like it's going to reach back and touch something back behind you, kind of on the diagonal. And that's going to start to get me into some of that tissue of my outer hip and my glutes, right? And then go ahead and let that reach forward. So it's a little bit like figure eight, but we're putting a little bit more of a flare, we'll call it. So again, I'm kind of moving forward at an angle, and I'm stretching a little bit through that abdomen in the front of the hip as I do that. Okay, come back to neutral. For this one, I like my feet to be together or as near as I can be with my balance, right? And I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to bend my knees. You can put your hands above your knees or you can stay in a standing motion. And then do baby circles with your knees, right? There is a little bit of lateral movement in the knees, but we don't need to push into that, right? Go ahead and go the other way. Anyone with knee issues and sensitivities, you might do less of that and just bend and straighten. Come back to center. We're going to do a little bit of balance. Feel free to grab the wall. Nothing wrong with that. It's not about the balance part, it's about what we feel in the ankles. So I can either lift a leg up, right, a foot off the ground, and just simply circle that ankle. I can also leave my toes on the ground and circle my heel, okay? And I can grab a wall and use it as a support system. So whatever, and they do kind of slightly different things. So sometimes I do both of them. Other direction if you're working in a circle, right? Put that down, pick up the other foot, or leave the toes on the ground and circle the heel, but just move that ankle and that foot around for your capacity this morning. This morning, whenever you're doing this video, go ahead and go the other direction. Maybe it's midnight, I don't know. And then go ahead and bring that foot on down. Okay, so toes. I want you to pick up your toes, not the ball mounds, just the toes themselves. Spread them as wide as you can and then set down and like you're going to pick up marbles underneath. You'll lift the whole foot up with the feet squishing together and in towards the sole of the foot. So again, I spread them really wide, and I guess your ball mounds don't have to stay down. They can lift up and down. I misguided you with that one, right? So just moving in and out of that and trying to get that function of the sole of the foot, the arches, get the toes active, come back to neutral. And then with the other foot, again, I'm going to pick up my toes, spread them as wide as I can, and then I'm going to squish. Another way that sometimes this can be taught with physical therapists and whatnot, you put a washcloth or a hand towel, just the edge of it, and you try to scrunch it all the way back under your foot. If that works better than marbles for a visual, wonderful. And breathe. And then try to spread your feet as wide as you can, right? Your toes, I should say. Well, your feet, your toes. And then we're going to go ahead and again, your feet can be hip distance or wider, you choose, but we're just going to do the back stroke. So one at a time, go ahead and let the arms come up. Sensitive shoulder or shoulders, keep your fingertips on your shoulder and circle your elbows, right? So they're both really wonderful. I tend to lock out my knees, so I always put a slight bend in my knees to keep them from being damaged more than I already have. Now we're going to do the crawl. So one arm's going to come up and over. Head can turn, it does not have to. You get to choose what feels right for your body at this moment in time. Okay, come back to neutral. You're going to go ahead and separate your feet a little wider, spread the toes a little wide. Feel free to put a little bend in the knees, and then just go ahead and start to swing your arms from side to side. And again, if you need to favor an arm, you could just hold it against your belly so it does not have the swinging motion. And then I might lift up when I go to the right, my left heel lifts up and I swing a little further into it with my hips now moving into it with me, right? And the rotation of my leg. And then I'm going to slow that down and make it a little smaller until I come back to the center. Assuming your shoulders are okay with it, you're going to give yourself a hug, send it out, and then put the other arm on top when you give yourself your second hug. So we're alternating which arm is on top. Move slower if you need to for any mindfulness in the joints if they're talking to you. Otherwise, you can let them swing pretty freely if that is okay with your joints. And then let's go ahead and swing our arms up and down. I'm going to walk my feet in just a little bit. Now you can keep this again slow and small. You can just move the elbows. You can also start to add in a swing and a forceful breath. So I swing up, and when I come down, let's do one more. And then just bring those arms down by the side, standing, maybe eyes closed. Notice the sensations of the body. And you might not get a great sense of it till you start to move in a bigger way, but noticing if the joints feel lubricated, if you feel like you have more mobility, there's more ease, you're more open. There are so many words and ways and different things that you could be feeling. Notice how you're feeling. And from here today, we'll bring our hands together in front of our heart. Inhale as we bow our head in, just taking that moment of gratitude. Namaste, friends. May you be well, and hopefully your joints feel like they're ready for a little bit of movement, or they just feel a little freer.